Well, here I am with another one of my uncuffed videos, off the cuff videos. I had no intention of making a recording when I was out here, but I had made mention on some of my working theories, or at least to me, in my mind, some of my working theories about how plasma might have played a role in etching out the lands and the landscapes and creating mountains, petrification, and other various levels of densities of clays and dirts and etc. But I happen to have found this piece to kind of show maybe the plasma fingerprint came through this creek, because this is a big piece of melted vitrified organic material. And it's because of this piece I am deciding to make this off-the-cuff video. So here you have it. I find this stuff out in this creek quite often. I've been finding bigger pieces lately, which is pretty cool, but I'm running out of space in my basement to store stuff. And I'm a claustrophobe, so I don't know I guess I'll probably come back and get this piece later at some point. But then I also found this little piece of vitrified material. Because when I say vitrified, I mean heated to the point it's turned to glass. I'm not talking like a vitrified glaze or something on pipes, like terracotta piping or nothing. So I guess that is one way vitrified is used. They've been, I guess they use the term vitrified for certain brick making and manufacturing. So not to confuse that vitrified with this kind of vitrification. I'm talking organic material becoming this glass-looking material. It very well could even possibly be somehow volcanic rock that ended up out here, but I live in Missouri, so there's no volcanoes around here. So that would be a stretch, but I think it's I lean on the plasma event, for the most part on that. But other than that, seeing as I wasn't planning on recording anything, this is just going to be ending right there already. But I just wanted to show this big piece of vitrification, hand size for comparison, size large. I just found it here in the creek. Just, poking around, collecting up some terracotta piping, and probably going to go off and grab another piece I have sitting over on the hill. But the castle, as usual, the pond area is up over here, and some of the dump spot where they knock some stuff off from the castle, it's kind of littered all through here. But other than that, guess I'll end that here, or at least pause the video, because I might go show the other terracotta I'm collecting up, but who knows, we'll see. But this boy here made me want to do a quick off-the-cuff video, and there you have it. So I'll just pause this here and continue on with my creek meandering. And yeah, all right then. I didn't get very far, but I've been seeing quite a few pieces of this, potentially the same thing, but this one here is a pretty decent example, and this looks cooked out as well. Well, let's get a bigger rock to prop this up on here. So take it for what it is. You're free to your opinions, as I am to mine. But this, not sure what it would make this like this. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, a heated event, or just how it was made. Who knows? This is what we're trying to figure out here. So I guess with that little quick update, I'm just going to go on ahead and pause this again because I'm really not trying to record too much. So until later, or I find something else that piques my interest I want to show while I'm out here. Later. And this here is a piece I came to put my eyes on to see if I want to retrieve it today. This is a piece of cut material. As you can see, it's flat. It's like on the other side, which I'm not flipping right now because I don't want to flip it and have it roll down this muddy hill. That's where I propped it up on. But this kind of goes with the piezoelectric theory of what I was saying in my show and tell video. This has bones and fossils and stuff in it. This is a good piece to kind of support that even further. So if this was in fact old world infrastructure that was harnessing piezoelectric energy, it's definitely seems to be the case. So I guess that's that. I'm not trying to get too in depth or ramble too much, so apologies for the usual off the cuff videos. Should be used to it by now, but anyways, until I see something else again, I guess I'll leave it at that. I found another one of these pieces I was making note of in my show and tell video, which I find in abundance out here. So this piece here is found off by where the wood castle remains are scattered around. And it's just right off over in that direction. So there's one of these pieces. This was a slightly better example of that separation. As you can see, I have no intention of keeping this piece. It's just want to show for the example of it because this is a better piece that actually shows it. So I guess that's that with this one already. So I believe these might have been potentially part of the castle. It's kind of hard to say. Just the mess of stuff out here, but that's what I lean on because that's the only infrastructure that would have something old and unique kind of like this, I would say, that was out here. Unless there's other infrastructures out here that got destroyed that we don't know about. It doesn't make much sense. So I guess with that in mind, I'll be pausing this again and hopefully stopping the video because I don't want to have a bunch of parts. Just having a bunch of parts is annoying. And it looks like there's some iron and other stuff out here. Who knows? I did find this little gear looking pulley thing here. But oh well. Not trying to get too random here. So I'm just gonna stop this here for now. Pause it anyways. Can't make it up. At this point, I should just keep the video going, but I'm really not trying to do a bunch of recording today. I just turned around from this little thing here I was showing, piece of material. Turned around just after I paused the video, and I found this little porcelain bottle. I've not seen out here before, and I've been out here quite a few times. Especially within recent times. So I guess the rainwater helped wash this out of some sediment here. And there's another piece of this, which is actually separated from the other material, the mortar base. Very interesting way of making this stuff here. But yeah, well, wasn't expecting on finding another complete porcelain bottle. I've been getting lucky with these lately. Right on. Or it could just be white glass or vitrolite or something, but anyway, sorry for the random nature of all my videos, but that's just how I do things. Until I find something else of interest, I guess that's that. Or until I get to the next spot that I'm trying to get to if I would stop procrastinating. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. Just want to get a quick little capture of this other piece of vitrified material I just stumbled across. So there you have it. Just finding the stuff everywhere out here in this creek. Yeah, I don't know. Guess I'll collect this one up in the future at some point as well. Because I'll have a whole supply chain of this stuff. I guess some people actually collect it, so if this is in fact vitrified organic material, not just some kind of, you know, metallurgy slag or something, but looks like vitrified material to me. But even if this is from, you know, like ore, you know, oring and mining and all that stuff, it's got to be pretty old world, because why would it be out here? And there's no place like that around here, so kind of makes you wonder. I lean on it's just another more evidence of the plasma fingerprint that came through here. The plasma event that could have caused the frying of the power grid and all that stuff. So there that piece is. I'll try to stop recording these, but it's just an abundance out here. So I just want to make note of it. So that's that. While I'm out here, I'm also show some of this other stuff I have found and have been stacking here. I need to collect up eventually, which really I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to collect these ones up here. They kind of remind me of diamonds, but with no stamps on them. So haven't quite decided on these ones yet per se. But this is just another one of my little spots of collected up things I need to eventually haul back to the house. Being a claustrophobe and all, you think I'd stop doing this to myself, but here I am. Guess that's what happens when you get into new hobbies. Because I've only been collecting these bricks for about, you know, I thought about it more, and it was only about, not even a year ago, I started getting into all this brick collecting. So yeah, guess you could say I'm trying to overcompensate now. I'm just trying to catch up. So I'm probably overdoing it quite a bit, but that's fine. But yeah, this is just a random spot of stuff I have to collect up eventually. I'm pretty sure this is a where some of the wood castle stuff got pushed off into, with various other newer-ish things shoved on top of it. In fact, while I'm here, I want to show another piece of, I think it's the wood castle that's buried in here. Set this piece down. But I'll get to that after I show these diamonds, actually. So I finally moved this. Finally moved this over here. Got these diamonds. Got this diamond. This is just, I don't know if there's a stamp hiding under there or not. Probably not. It's probably just another one of these. Let's see. Possibly. But yeah, these are just some diamonds I need to collect up out of here. These are all by the castle, but found in the creek, so that's why I'm assuming that these are from the castle. Well, it doesn't help the fact I actually found a complete diamond up there when I was poking around. So actually the very first diamond I found was at the collapsed, knocked-in castle remains up there. So there's that. So let's see if I can get up here safely. It is kind of muddy and slippery right now, even with my water boots on here. This is going to be quite tricky. There's a piece of cut material in here, if I can remember where it's at. Oh, it's right up in here. This is going to be super tricky. I believe this is part of the castle, but there's probably no way of getting it out. Wait, is that it? No. Where did I see it at? Is it over there? I think it's over on this other side. My apologies. I do think some of these other stones, though, were probably part of the pond features, possibly. Because the pond is just right up over this hill, across the driveway. But let's see if I can safely get over to this other spot, where I think that cut piece of material is that shows clear signs of old world tooling and other stuff. Oh yeah, it's right there. Okay. I also need to collect up this bottle. It's a nice thick bottle. Kind of recently started collecting up these things as well. Can't really make that out. But it's a heavy, thick glass for a bottle. They didn't cheap out nothing back in the day, did they? There's all this iron and rebar in here. This looks, from my eyes, to be an older type of rebar, because haven't seen rebar like this made anywhere before, and it's just out here in piles. But here's another piece right here that has the cut material, a lot like a limestone, and it's got the tooling marks. Probably kind of hard to see. There we go. There's some pretty good examples. This piece is just tragically buried, and it looks like a pretty substantial piece. I'm going to try to extract it at some point. Probably not going to happen, but I kind of want it. Yeah, I want it, but who knows if I'll ever get it out of here, because this thing is buried in all this heavy material under all this stuff, and it'd be quite dangerous to get that out of there, I'm assuming, by the sketchiness of it. So unfortunately, that might have to stay. I'll probably work on it eventually, but other than that, I guess I'm going to pause this again. And this video is just going to be all over the place, like most of my videos are. So I greatly apologize for that. Truly. I forgot to point this out. This stuff is found in abundance closer to these piles that I believe to be parts and remnants of the Webb Castle. And there's a piece sticking out right over here, as can be seen in this debris pile. So there's that. Just to kind of further support as to why I think these are part of the Webb Castle destruction. Go figure, the place kept getting caught on fire and they finally knocked it down. Seems to be a reoccurring story with these old places, huh? Fires and destruction and other such happenings. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Just to document and make a mental note of this particular part in here, for when the time comes, I do like a part 2 of my show and tell of my findings. I have been finding cut marble facading off in this part of the creek. I believe it to be marble cut. Well, it's definitely cut material. If it's marble or not, I'm not a materials expert, but I'm assuming as of right now, it's cut marble facading that has been found in this part of the creek. And of course, can't stress it enough, Webb Castle, this is pretty much, its remains are right off over in here, roughly. So when I do my show and tell part 2, of the stuff in the basement, I just wanted to make it known that I have been finding some pretty ornate facade pieces, cut facade pieces through here. So I'll just leave it at that until that time comes where I show those. I was attempting to try to find another cut facade piece, thinner cut facade piece, and I happened upon this quite interesting bit of melt. It's pretty heavy. It looks like more evidence of the plasma fingerprint coming through here. In my honest opinion, you can believe what you want on it, but I'm going to say what I say about it. And this is a pretty interesting one. Just want to document this one as well, because why not? Now I'm going to be quiet so I can focus in on these close-ups. Just listen to the water flow, the stream. This one's been smoothed by the water a tad, but you can still see where some of the bubbling and other things are being revealed. It's got some kind of iron in it maybe, or some chemistry going on here. I don't want to assume. Let's get this washed real quick. Staged up right here. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is melted something going on. It's gotta be, because you can see the bubbling and the release of oxygen in the material when it got hot enough to where it was altering the material's matrix and chemistry around. Start seeing the bubbling and stuff. Quite interesting. So that's my rambling for the moment. All right then. Guess I'll go put this with all of my findings and probably get this later as well. All right. Just to further document more of this, to keep making the point, here's more of this vitrified material. This is actually a pretty nice piece. It really shows pretty well. It's a borderline pumice-like, but it's heavy, and it, got like heavy rock-like qualities to it. Sorry, I was distracted there. I stumbled on my words. Do that a lot, anyways. But just further documenting what I'm coining the plasma fingerprint, etching out the lands and helping do all that jazz. There's more of this out here. Like I said, it's just everywhere out here. So yeah, guess I'll leave it at that till the next finding. Just pulled these out of the water. Some old tiles. They're quite thick. They look like a porcelain or some kind of vitrolite glass tiles, and they're on some old mortar. I'm not sure if that's how that's done today. in modern time, but it is pretty interesting. I'm probably going to be keeping this as well, depending on the nature of these tiles, how old they are. Regardless, I'll clean these up a little bit. I'm getting my hoodie sleeve wet. Huh. It's pretty nice. I like this sacred geometry and such. So, another random find of the day. Came out here to do a few simple things, and now here I am. Doing the thing I said I didn't want to do. Isn't how these always go, though. But yeah, I guess I'm going to clip this up. So there's that. Here's some more melt. So just want to further document more of this, because why not document it while I'm out here after making my points in my show and tell video. So I'll have to show my collection at home at some point as well at this rate. So anywho's, I don't think I want that piece, but I am collecting those ones. So I'll pause the video here and hopefully nothing goes wrong, so I don't have to make a bunch of multiple parts. And just for the sake of further documentation, as if I couldn't stress it enough, I found another one of these vitrified materials with a bit of the green glass look kind of going on. Yeah, is this more evidence of the plasma strike or plasma event etching out this creek, or helping etch out this creek after a flood event? Just a lot of This is actually a really nice piece. It's slag. Don't worry about it. Can't you see the copper in it? That's where the green comes from. We've all heard it all. We've all heard it before. Is there truth to that in some cases and instances? Sure. But none of that stuff exists where I live, so it doesn't explain this one away. See if I can't get this one to stay up like this. Pretty much Vitrification. A stone that has gotten so hot it has become glass. It's about the only way to describe it. It completely transmutated into glass. A glass-like matrix. Now, what kind of heat, or in the biggest air quotes possible, fire, could do this to what was potentially a stone at one time? I have to say that because, well, it's hard to prove. I have to put disclaimers out there because people be all over that like they do, like they be. So I have to say allegedly and potentially and all this other stuff, but I'm pretty sure this is a stone that's turned to glass. So I know I'm wasting some time on this, but this is a nice piece, so I wanted to get this one some screen time. And of course, I'm not trying to yammer on too much, but there's just some things I have to say about it while I'm documenting it. Incoherently, sure. You don't like that? Don't watch. That's probably not going to change. So if you're ever out in the creek and you see this type of black glass-looking rock material, I'd go ahead and collect it up because it's very interesting. So there you have it, vitrified stone, allegedly, just for those people out there.